And hello race fans, and welcome here to the Talladega Superspeedway. We're gonna get the field set here for race number 6 of the WRLA NOS Energy Cup Series. It's the first plate race for these drivers since the Daytona 500. And it's going to be some interesting qualifying race for these 15 cars. And as you hear by the extra noises, I'm not alone. For the first time in a little while, I'm having co-commentators with me for this qualifying race. It's none other than Nathan Orman and Daniel Voiles.
What's up, guys? Hello.
So guys, this is our first qualifying race for these drivers on a super speedway. Just first time for them, because the last time we were at a super speedway, they had to qualify their way into the Daytona 500, then eventually race their way into the Daytona 500. For this kind of race right here, do you think they're going to have to just take it very consistently and just try to buy their time?
Definitely so, because, this is 10 laps and there's not a whole lot of time to make moves. So, it's time for these drivers to get up on the wheel and try to make it in the top 6 to be in the main event, because if you don't, you're going to be probably one of those 8 drivers going home.
Yeah, and if you make it to the top 6, you're safe. If you're not, then better look next week.
You see there on the front row, you have the number 93. That's going to be Brittany White this week. And Voiles, Brittany White has not made any of the races that she is at least tried to attempt, and right now she starts on pole, so that's going to be a big confidence booster for her to start on the pole position for this event.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, how Brittany White's going to do, because, she hasn't been in before this season, she hasn't been in a car since the McDonald's series back in 2017, driving a Ford. So, it's taken her a while to get used to these NOS Energy Cup cars, but, I hope she can try to get in the race, and we can work out a plan going into qualifying later.
So the green flag is out. Here we go. The race is underway. Wyatt Walker just beat Brittany White to the line. Not sure if that's going to be a penalty or not, but nonetheless, they did start the race. So the green flag already flew, already underway, and they're double file, at least from third on back. 3 wide in the back with Trinity Anderson, Caleb Hoffman, and Samet Oskin. Oskin did not have himself a good race at Bristol last week. Right around lap 69, he merged back out on the racetrack after making a pit stop right in front of Jack Lagacy, and that kind of screwed his day up. Same for Jax, but nonetheless, I believe Oskin did finish the race. But now he's going to try to attempt for this one. And coming around through the tri-oval, Wyatt Walker leads lap number 1. Andrew Ramsey in second. He's trying to make his 3rd straight race in a row. Throughout the last, he made Phoenix, he made Rockingham, he even made last week's race he made last week's race at Bristol. Now trying to go 3 for 3 and try to make his 4th start of the year.
Yeah, and Andrew Waiter came out of nowhere, and he is gonna possibly make it another race that he gets to race.
Oh, a little bit of 4 wide you saw there in the middle of that little group, but it's the good thing with this pack is there's only 15 cars, so it's a lot easier to get things sorted out than versus a pack of 42 cars, because if that's a pack of 42 cars, that would have been catastrophic. Johnny Gardner leads lap number 2. Daniel Bouchard in second, Caleb Hoffman in third. Wyatt Walker starting to slip back. Here comes Michael DeFeo to the inside. That's for fourth. The driver holding on to the final transfer spot at this very moment right now is Trinity Anderson. Double file going into turn 3.
Now, you can go 4 wide at Talladega because this place is wide enough to go wide. It's when you're leaning on one another, that's when it can get really sketchy, especially if that was a 42 car field. But this, since it's only 15, these drivers can keep it together.
I can agree with that, Voiles. Lap 3 completed. Johnny Gardner leads a second consecutive lap. Here comes Madison Tall in the 6th. She's back in the car for these next 2 weeks. Right here at Talladega, and then the next week at Charlotte. Then it's going to swap with Travis Crampton driving the 6th for the next 2 weeks. So for Maddie to try to make her second straight super speedway race, that would actually be a huge confidence booster for NS Racing, because that would be 3 cars that would be in the main event for Monday's race.
And yeah, this is going to be great for NS Racing, and if Madison Tall makes the race, because 3 of the NS Racing cars making the race, that would be a day good for team owner Nathan Stapleton.
Yeah, and speaking of teams, Orman, you really haven't had yourself the best of seasons. Last place at Daytona, I really think you don't need too much of a reminder of that. I don't think you'd want to be reminded of that. And then your best finish of 12th at Phoenix, and then 37th places. But you did rebound a little bit with a 17th, and then your teammate Sebastian Kukulon rebounded with a 5th. How does that have to feel that for your team to kind of get a little bit of confidence under your belt after Bristol?
Yeah, and we as a team, me and Stapleton, Kukulun, and we have good chance of making having a better finish this weekend at Talladega.
Anything can happen here at Talladega. That just might be the case. Trinity Anderson in the middle of a 3-wide situation. Here comes Vanellope Von. Voiles was literally in the middle of an order.
Sorry, guys.
But I was about to say, Vanellope Von Schweetz coming to the inside. She made her debut in a NOS Energy Cup car last week at Bristol, but did not make the race by any circumstance whatsoever. But now she's inside of the top 10, and also I think she might have just entered the window to where she could possibly make the race. Coming to 4 laps to go, and look at this, 3 wide. Andrew Ramsey to the inside of both Marty Johnson and Josiah Munsell, our Daytona 500 winner. Oh boy, things are getting pretty antsy here.
My goodness.
Yeah, I bet these drivers, it's time to go, because we're getting closer to the end of this race and all bets are off.
All bets are off at this point on. Schweetz in second. Here comes Evan Hunter, and that's 64 for second. I almost said third, but that's for second. Hunter is in third, and Wyatt Walker's back into the mix. He's back inside of the top 6. Michael DeFeo coming down on the inside. He could possibly get by Marty Johnson here if he can stay on that inside line. That inside line has been the preferred way to go, and it's been the shortest way around. 3 laps to go. Ramsey still leading the way, with all the other cars on the inside lined up right behind him. And Schweetz, I bet, is eager to make some sort of move.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Vanellope Von Schweetz has some experience on the super speedway.
Oh, there she goes, but she didn't have any help with her. Sorry to cut you off, Voiles, but there goes Wyatt Walker to the inside. But I think it's going to be enough to get by Andrew Ramsey coming to 2 to go. You were saying, Voiles?
Yeah, I was mentioning that she has some experience on super speedways in PCS Ray. Of course, she won the rookie shootout in 2016, and then also won at Daytona, so she knows how to get the job done on the plate.
Coming to 2 to go. And Wyatt Walker led that lap just by a narrow margin over Vanellope von Schweetz. We're coming to the white flag. Right now, the drivers that would be in the race, currently where they're scored right now, Wyatt Walker, Schweetz, DeFeo, Tall, Ramsey, Hunter. But right now, the top 6 has changed so much. It changes so much every single lap. You have no idea where everybody's going to be at the very next lap. But coming through turns 3 and 4, they're going to see the white flag this time by. Wyatt Walker is leading the way. He has a pretty good chance of making it into this race. But the question is, will he see the checkered flag inside of the top 6? As Bouchard makes a move to the inside. White flag. 1 lap to go. Osman Hamid trying to make it 3 wide.
Whoa, here we go.
Josiah Munsell down there on that inside line. Same for Sam Oskin. And Trinity Anderson. This is a big opportunity for her as she starts to move inside of the top 6. She could make her NOS Energy Cup Series debut here at Talladega this coming Monday. She has a shot at doing it. Down into turn 3.
Oh, where did Trinity Anderson come from? She came out of nowhere.
Just like
remember, the start-finish line. Sorry to get you off, Blazer. Remember, start-finish line is after the tri-oval.
And here they come through the tri-oval. Looks like Osman Hamid is going to have this in the bag. No move from Munsell. And Hamid's going to win. And the drivers that move on into the main event are Osman Hamid, Josiah Munsell, Samet Oskin. Trinity Anderson finally has done it.
Wow.
As she will make her NOS Energy Cup Series debut come Monday. Caleb Hoffman and Daniel Bouchard.
Man, Trinity Anderson, that is shocking.
That is huge.
And the best part is she gets to race with her sister Emily in an event.
That is the first time that we are going to see a duo of sisters race in the NOS Energy Cup Series.
Well,
unfortunately, however, for Brittany White, Michael DeFeo, Marty Johnson, Vanellope von Schweetz, Evan Hunter, Madison Tall, Johnny Gardner, Andrew Ramsey, and Wyatt Walker, better luck next time.
oh,
Those drivers will unfortunately not make the race.
And it's a tough break for Brittany. You know, we can get Charlotte.
Well, hopefully she does make the race at Charlotte next week, and we got qualifying coming up next. And gentlemen, you guys are going to be in your cars, so you guys might as well make your way down to the infield. Best of luck to you guys in qualifying. Hopefully you guys get some pretty good qualifying positions.
Thank you so much.
And when we return, we'll have NOS Energy Cup qualifying from right here at the Talladega Superspeedway next, right here on the Leonard Station. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And welcome back, folks. We are back here at the Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to get ready for qualifying for race number 6 in the WRLA NOS Energy Cup Series. And this is going to be interesting. This is going to be the first time that they're going to be qualifying not for the Daytona 500. I mean, they'll still do group qualifying, but it's not going to be like the way that they did back at Daytona. So it should be very interesting to see what this 15-minute session is going to hold. And I'm still not alone. Debuting here in the booth is Mr. Sean Ard.
Hello.
So, Sean, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you, what do you think is going to be the best method to this kind of group qualifying session here at Talladega?
Well, as I'm going to say this, if you're going to try to get a really fast time, you would want to try to get into a group, but try to be behind somebody so you get more momentum and speed. You go for the turns and straightaways on this track.
Yeah, it looks so far. I thought for a solitary second that both Sebastian Cuculon in the number 1 and also Derek Edison in the 32 were going to come out nose to tail, but that's not the case. Cuculon is way, way out ahead of the number 32 of Derek Edison. Next car that is coming out onto the racetrack. Let's see if we can find him. I think his car hasn't teleported on to the pits just yet, but there is the number 24 of Nathan Orman. He just climbed into the car, and they're getting data collected before they go out onto the racetrack. So let's listen in to what they're saying.
Okay, Nate. Track is super speedway, and be careful of not burning up your tires. 10-4, I will try to not wear out my tires and possibly have a good qualifying one.
Hey, and just as soon as he finished, he heads out onto the racetrack. He gets ready to qualify. First lap laid down on the board is a 52.607 by Orman's teammate Sebastian Cuculon, who came home with a 5th place finish back at Bristol last week. So that's actually a pretty big confidence booster for Nathan Orman Motorsports. And now you see, just as you were talking about, Sean, the two cars nose to tail. You have Robert McDowell down there, right behind Derek Edison, but not anymore. I believe McDowell's grill was starting to get a little too hot, and now they're going to trade spots.
Sorry to cut you off there. I was going to say, if you keep flip-flopping each other, you're not going to get caught into the engine, and you can also work together to find a tandem drive to get around here pretty good.
And you probably also want to be in a pack of maybe 3 or 4 cars, because Jesse Turner just went to the top with a 51.415. Not anymore. Zachary Fitzwater with a 51.350 for him. And there's Daniel Voiles in the 26. Let's hear some words of encouragement from that 26 before they rolled out onto the track.
Okay, mate. This is your place, Talladega. I hope you have a good race. Let's make sure we take care of the tires, because this is an impound race, and we want the car until the race. And let's go out there and see what we can do. 10-4. Thank you guys for the hard work. Let's just make sure we keep it together going into the race on Monday.
Derek Hamill to the top of the charts, 51.275. There's no chance in all heck that you can do a 15-second lap here at Talladega. That's a very slim chance. Osman Hamid to the top with the 51.146. There's Alex Hawkins in the number 9, sporting new colors for the mellow yellow scheme. Back when Alex Hawkins won the Canadian 500, he was driving a mellow yellow car. He basically drove a mellow yellow car throughout the entire 2017 season, but now he's been driving the Mobil 1 Menards car for the last 5 weeks, but now deciding to give the mellow yellow colors a go again. Maybe they might bring him some good luck here for Monday's race.
Wow, the 15 up there, the 51 flat.
How about that? And 4 1,000ths of a second behind him is Carter Friesen. Now, the thing to point out about Carter Friesen, he hasn't had the best season I mean, he's been having a decent season, but just he hasn't been up there in the point standings. He hasn't really been making any sort of moves for any sort of victory or anything, but Carter Friesen could do very well here at Talladega, and right now, an outside pole would kind of build his confidence a little bit. Emmanuel Hartnett is third, one thousandth of a second behind him. And then you have Osman Hamid fourth and Daniel Bouchard fifth. Nathan Stapleton is sixth. Then seventh is Ben Erickson. Eighth, Alex Hawkins. Ninth, Stephen Colon. How about that for Colon? He has not had a good season at all. He has not been in any sort of conversation. If he's been in a wreck, that's when he would get involved in a conversation. But other than that, that's about it. Cologne has not had a good season whatsoever, but here with this qualifying run here at Dega, he could definitely turn that around.
Yeah, that's true. If you have a really good qualifying session here at Talladega, might help your chances of doing well in the race. But that determines on how you get around here and who you have as the partner.
Also, the thing to point out about this little group is that you have 3 rookies and 1 veteran, you could say, with Josiah Munsell, our Daytona 500 champion, and Mark Grant in that number 81 is aborting and coming to pit road. I believe just that way he can get a little bit of data on that number 81 before they head back out to probably put down another lap. You also see Quentin Moore on pit road. Now you can change tires. You can change tires during qualifying sessions like these. There's no rule that states that you cannot do that. It also allows the pit crews to kind of practice their pit stops just a little bit before the real deal. There's Ryan Gundillo in the number 58. Nobody has had more of a horrible season than Ryan Gundillo. A quarter of the way through the year, and he is dead last in the point standings. I believe a good qualifying run for him would definitely restore his confidence and at least boost it just a little bit. A win would definitely restore that confidence and probably help him to gain some momentum throughout the season.
Yeah, and I think if you have some seasons where you're not having anything going well, a win, like here at Talladega, you can expect the feedback that will come through from other teams, other drivers saying that is something that should have been done all year.
Right now, he's right behind Elijah Gordon. And I definitely would agree with that because there's a lot of drivers that you would expect to do really well, but then all of a sudden your expectations kind of flip the other way and it becomes the complete opposite. But nonetheless, I mean, for Ryan Gundillo, I was hoping that he would do really good for this EGI entry. The British driver just really has not had himself a good season at all. Like I said, dead last in the points standings, and he would definitely love to turn it around with a win. Same can be said for Elijah Gordon. He has not had the best of seasons so far. I mean, his season has been at best mediocre, but he has not broken into the triple digits in the points just yet. Let alone, he's not even inside of the top 20 in points. So he definitely would love to get himself a good run here at Dega, maybe win here at this racetrack. We'll just have to wait and see what happens come Monday. 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, if you can actually win here on Monday, any driver has a good chance of winning. Not just because of the super speedway and that anything can happen, but somehow somebody can have that extra little bit of good luck and get to the win.
Well, with 15 seconds remaining, Nathan Orman and Henry Williams are tandem drafting with each other right now. Orman finds himself, let's see if I can find him actually. Orman finds himself 32nd with Joshua Hyatt, or Henry Williams, 33rd. 50 seconds of it out on the clock, so these drivers have enough time to put down one more lap. What does Nathan Orman have to say about this performance?
It's slow, but we will manage to go to the front during the race. Yeah, it's not like the old saying goes. Doesn't care about where you start, it's where you finish.
Well, Daniel Voiles with 15 seconds remaining. What does he have to say about this qualifying performance, as he might qualify 25th?
It's okay, mate. Got good car, but we for. I think you guys are gonna work.
And the times have been finalized, so that means Derek Hamill will start on the pole for Monday's race at Talladega. Lining up alongside him will be the number 02 of Carter Friesen. The row 2 will be Emmanuel Hartnett and Osman Hamid. Row 3, Emily Anderson and Eric Scott. Row 4 will see Joshua Hyatt and Alex Bonsignor. Row 5 will see the number 11 of Robert McDowell and the 47 of Daniel Bouchard. That will be the top 10 that will lead the field to the green flag.
Drivers, to your
Shut
cars.
up, official. The rest of the starting grid will be revealed once we get to Monday's race, but until then, I want to thank you guys a lot for watching the qualifying sessions from here at Talladega. If you guys liked it, be sure to give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And Monday's race is going to be wild. So, on behalf of Daniel Voiles, Nathan Orman, and as well as Sean Ard, I'm Elijah London from the London Station signing out. We'll see you guys Monday.
Bye.